Hi, Josh from Education 2020. We've got coronavirus in the news and it's looking like state and federal governments have the power to close down schools. You may be choosing to teach your kids at home in this time to stop the spread of virus, or in the case of the government closing the schools down, you will have to teach your children at home. I've got 5 simple steps for you so you can turn your time at home with your kids from a time of fear and suffering into a time of thriving. You may look back on this time for the rest of your life as a special time. Maybe it's a time of turning, a time of change. Now, who am I to talk to you about this? I've been teaching for over 12 years full time. In 2018, I took my wife and 4 kids to the mountains of Thailand to get involved in some aid work up there. We homeschooled for the year and we did it well. Our kids came back on top of their class, and I can show you how you can make your kids thrive in this time, so stay tuned. Okay, my point number 1 is keep it regular. Kids are so flexible. You're going to be so amazed at how flexible your kids are with this time. But one thing you should not be flexible with is the time that you do school. It can be whatever time you want, but just keep it regular. What I would aim for is 3 hours a day, just for 4 days a week. You could break it up for an hour on, an hour off, an hour on, an hour off, and then an hour on, and then go. Whichever path you choose to go, whether you start at 7 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, just keep it regular. And remember that your kids do sit and learn for 2 hours in a row at school. That's right down from the age of 5. So they do have that concentration time. If you're wondering what a good timetable could look like, head on over to Education 2020 and I'll have a few samples there for you. Feel free to use them, modify them, make them your own. It's up to you. Enjoy. Look, with this regular time, why don't you get up a little bit earlier and get the kids involved in making some lunch. You're going to learn a few new skills. You can make them a little bit more independent. It's a good activity for you to follow. The advice has been given that giving your kids to the grandparents to mind may be a bad option because grandparents can be in the most vulnerable category with this coronavirus. So if you're teaching your kids at home, or if you're going to have a little space in the office, follow these tips. You need a clear space for them. It needs to be clutter-free. It needs to be as free from distraction and noise as possible. You'll need a table and a chair for them to work at. Look, a kitchen table will work perfectly for this. You may even have the luxury of having an office space. When we were in the hills in Thailand, we did all of our work around the kitchen table. It worked so well. Although, being at home will create much more mess than when you are at work and your kids are at school. So just be aware of this. To combat against this and to help your kids, you should create a cleaning roster. And once again, if you head on over to Education 2020, I've got a few free rosters there for you to have a look at so you can implement and turn this time from a time of fear and worry into a time of growth and development, both for your kids and for you as a family. Make sure you're well stocked and well prepared for learning. You don't want to be hunting around the house for that lead pencil, sticky tape or scissors. So make sure that you go down to the shop, get a lead pencil, coloured pens, coloured pencils, a glue stick, scissors, sticky tape, A4 cartridge paper that you'd use in a printer, and 2 workbooks at least. Look, even if you've got those things, go down and get them. It's better to have them in a pencil case, in a cupboard in one spot, than hunting around the house, in the office, and trying to find those. It'll clear any confusion or stress out of this already stressful matter. Now, you're going to be busy and you're going to be working, and being interrupted in those times can be very frustrating. It can cause emotional tension. So how about you try this? Let's have a look at an interruption system. If you're deep in thought or on the phone, your child can do something physical instead of verbal to get your attention. Let's make it not physically annoying, let's make it physically okay. You might be working at your desk. They might be able to have like a special thing they put on your desk when they need your attention, right in front of your sight, not in a space that's going to be annoying. Maybe you're outside working or something like this. Your child could get something like a clothes peg and come up and put it on your sleeve and then walk away. When you look down and see the clothes peg, you realise, my child needs me. And I find having that system well mapped out for interruption can just take away so much emotional stress out of a situation. Now my last point, my 5th point to make is this. What can they learn from you? Can you teach them how to cook? Can you teach them how to do pottery? What about gardening? Do you know how to do technical drawings that you could teach your children? Maybe you're at home from the sea, maybe you're a sailor, you could teach them how to navigate the seas. Hang on, let's broaden the horizons. What about even how to keep a toolbox organised? Maybe you already work from home, maybe you're a graphic designer and you use a program like Canva. How about you get them on there, designing a few birthday invites for their friends in the future? Now that you've been thinking, what kind of project could they be working on as well as their schoolwork? Perhaps they could make a little toy or a series of toys that they could sell at a market. Perhaps they could sell it to their friends. But when you look at what you do for work, have a look at the skills that are involved in that. You can pass those skills on to your kids. Their brains are so wired in a way just to suck up any information. Don't limit your thinking in what they can do. Now, one more thing, if you're worried that your child's going to miss out on education and return to school with their lack in their learning, why don't you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I'm going to create a video that can go into a little bit more detail on what you should be teaching at this time, what's important to teach your children. Let's cut away all the waffle and let's look at the basics. I've been teaching for over 12 years. I know what's best to teach your kids in these times. What's going to make the greatest impact for the time that you have now. If you'd be interested in this video, please comment below and I'll let you know when it gets released. Alternatively, head on over to the YouTube channel and click subscribe there and the little bell, and a little message will come into your inbox when I release that video. Also on the website, I'll put up a list of free websites that can teach you how to teach that subject and also give you some free worksheets for you to work with your kids on those subjects. They're what I use every day as a teacher in the classroom, and it'll be a great help and service to you as well. I'll also include some fuss-free teaching ideas to help you get the job done, and in a way that you can focus on the things that you need to focus on in your every day-to-day life. Okay, this is Josh from Education 2020. Don't forget to wash your hands and stay safe. I'll catch you next time.